So, here she is. This is a rifle that I built with my dad. We took a Remington 700 bog standard SPS chambered in 270 Winchester. Long action with a 308 bolt face. So same thing as a 30-06, all of those calibers. We immediately took off the barrel, which we had to cut off. We took the stock and threw it away because this was going to be a custom precision rifle that we were really excited to build. I forget when we built it. My dad can probably look through his records and see when exactly we built it. But again, took the action off. Ordered a Macmillan A5 stock in tan with speckled black spots, and it looks freaking fantastic. I ordered this with the raisable cheek rest. Put a Krieger barrel on it. We first put a Douglas barrel on it that he had left over, chambered in 6mm, and we chambered it for 240 Weatherby Magnum. Once I shot that barrel out, I put this new barrel on and then chambered it in 6.5 by 55 Ackley improved. Topped it off with a Night Force one-piece mount and a Vortex Razor 3.5 to 27. Or 4.5 to 27, excuse me. She is an absolute tank. With a Area 419 muzzle brake. They're out of Cleveland, Ohio. Great company, self-timing brake. Easy to clean, easy to take on and off, and it just eliminates recoil. So that, and it being a 21-pound rifle, also eliminates recoil. But yeah, this is my baby. Shot a lot of rounds through this 240 Weatherby, but once I switched to 6.5, I think I've probably shot about, I don't know, 400 rounds through it, so maybe a third of the way through its barrel life, but she's capable of shooting really, really, really well. Better than I can shoot. So I'm out here out west. There's a 1,000-yard range really, really close to me, and plenty of shooting opportunities at my buddy's farm, I hope. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do and stuff like that out here in the desert. The last time that I shot, it was getting 2850 out of the 26-inch barrel. And it was shooting 140 grain bullets, 2850, and that was in the wintertime when it was super cold. So I'm anxious to know what it will do once the ammo gets to where it's out here warm during the day, and it's still 72 degrees out here during the daytime. So it's wintertime now, but I'm really excited to get this thing shooting again, and it's gonna be fantastic. One thing that I did forget to mention, it's got a jewel trigger on it, and it is measured in ounces, not pounds, on the trigger pull. So I mean, you can't quite breathe on it to get it to go off, but good Lord, it is. I mean, there's just nothing there. So that's enough for the overview of this rifle. Now to talk about that weird round. I'm gonna take a sip of this tea. I've been on a tea kick lately. A lot less alcohol, a lot more water and tea, and it seems to be working. So, I feel pretty good. Okay, so to talk about this round and why I picked it. 6.5 by 55 Swedish Mauser Ackley improved. Here is a regular 308, 168 grain boat tail hollow point. Here is a case of a regular 6.5 by 55 Swedish Mauser. That's a regular 6.5 by 55 Swedish Mauser. And here is a Swedish Mauser Ackley improved. If you look at these cases, there is a slight difference between the two of them. And it is in the neck portion. So when you look at these two rounds, the 6.5 by 55 Swedish Mauser, which is no slouch itself, has a more vertical shoulder that comes up like this. When you Ackley-ize a cartridge, you turn that shoulder into a 40-degree shoulder. So you take it from this to this. So it just allows you to put more powder in there, and I also think it improves the round and makes it a little bit more efficient, and it does a lot of things to improve performance as well. So the reason why I picked it is because my dad originally had a 22-250 Ackley improved, and he really liked the performance gains that he got from it. So when we were picking out a 6.5 round, I wanted to do a 6.5. He pushed me towards 6.5 by 55 Ackley improved. One of the things that you do have to be aware of when you're doing a 6.5, when you're doing an Ackley caliber, is that this is a Wildcat. Okay, you cannot get factory ammo in 6.5 by 55 Ackley improved. You either have to fire form your cases, or you have to shoot your factory ammo for 6.5 by 55 in your Ackley improved rifle or a chamber that is 6.5 by 55 Ackley improved to get that 40-degree shoulder. But the good thing about 6.5 by 55 Ackley improved is that regular 6.5 by 55 ammo will absolutely fire with no problem in an Ackley chamber, but Ackley-ized ammunition will not fire in the base cartridge's chamber for obvious reasons. So because it will not fit. But if you want to fire form a whole bunch of 6.5 by 55 in your chamber, you can do so, and then it'll come out just like a 6.5 by 55 Ackley improved. You might have to resize it. Well, you will have to resize it afterwards, and make sure that it fits in your chamber and do all that stuff. But you know, you don't have to have a fire former. We use that fire former to save our barrel life, so that we're not shooting 100 rounds of 6.5 by 55 to get it to fire form into Ackley improved. And it kind of just does it. It does it without having to sacrifice barrel life. But I've got 3 types of ammo here. I've got my all of this is Lapua brass, 6.5 by 55 Lapua brass. Very nice brass, and I got it when it was super cheap back almost a decade ago. So I've got over 100 rounds of 6.5 by 55 Lapua, and that will outlast this gun. Well, it'll definitely outlast the barrel, but it'll probably last me for the next decade. So unless I'm shooting a whole gob of rounds through it. So I have my 6.5 by 55 Ackley improved rounds that I need to full length size that have already been fired, already gone through accuracy loads, and they're great. I have my fire formed brass, but it's not quite ready to go because it's still got a little bit of a rounded shoulder to it. So I'm going to shoot a reduced charge through that. And then I've got my unfire formed 6.5 by 55 regular brass. Okay. I've got about 22 rounds of the completely unfire formed, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 20 rounds of the fire formed, but it's not quite, it doesn't quite have the, sharp shoulder on it. And then I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 rounds of the ready to go rounds that need to be full length sized. And then I've got also a couple of loaded rounds in here. If you want to look, if you want to see at what it looks like, when it is ready to go. There you go. That's a mean looking cartridge right there. 140 grain Hornady loaded up in this guy. And if you want to see it next to a 308, there you go. A lot more powder capacity. So these things will be pushing, I can push a 140 grain pill just around 3,000 feet per second through this. So it adds probably about 200 feet per second to any one sort of bullet you choose. So that's the deal with 6.5x55 Ackley Improved. It's definitely a cartridge that you need to reload for. I mean, you can shoot 6.5x55 through an Ackley chamber all day long, but to get the most out of it, you're gonna want to reload for it. So that's what I've done for the last decade out of Ronda. So I'm gonna load some stuff up tonight, and then hopefully get to the range tomorrow. I'm gonna try order of operations for this is going to be, put this back. I am gonna full length size these guys right here. This is fully fire formed, ready to go. I'm gonna full length size those first, and put those in the tumbler. And then I'm going to load up the unfire formed 6.5x55 Ackley Improved, and with a 6.5x55 load that I have. And then for these, I'm going to do maybe 1.5 grains less than what I normally do for 6.5x55 Ackley Improved out of these. So that should fire form them completely to the chamber. And then next time I'll just full length size those, and they'll be ready to go in this pile with the fully fire formed. So loading up about, I don't know, 60 rounds. I don't even know if I have enough primers for that, but I've got some BR2s coming, and BR2s are good stuff. So let's get to it. Okay, first thing I need to do that I kind of forgot is I need to measure the shoulder of the 6.5x55 round with the comparators. So I got this right here. Let me make sure that this is set to 0. There we go. 0, 0. Oh, unscrewing it. So we got that in there like that, and the way these things work is, so I got this guy right here. Put him up. Oops. Up in here like this. And then measure from the shoulder. So it looks like we've got 3.7935. 3.7935. And then we're going to jack him up in our Dillon press with our 6.5x55 full length sizing die. Go. We lubed this guy beforehand, so there we go. these out of there. And I don't remember if I full length sized these guys and back in Ohio. But 3.7935. Same reading. So what we're gonna do is this one needs to be full length sized. So the other thing we can do is we can check in our rifle to see if the bolt closes. Easy. So let's do that right now. This is our Yes. This is our full length sized brass. And that actually closed kind of hard. So we might need to bump that shoulder back just a little bit. Actually, no. This is our full length size brass. Oh, that closed just like butter. And it extracts. So that is our full length sized brass that I just did. And I need to get this off of manual focus. So this was our full length sized brass that we just did. This one was the one that I tried to measure the shoulder on, but it's got a primer in there. So what we're looking for when we do this is to bump the shoulder back just a little bit to make it easy for the bolt to manipulate the bolt. I mean, we want it to just be, we don't even want to feel the cartridge in there. We just want to feel the resistance of the bolt and nothing else. So this is successful full length resize to me. What I will do is I will write that measurement down, 3.7935, whatever it was, and then I will put that in my shooting log, and then when these get fired, what I'll do is I will take them back here and then go ahead and measure them after they've been fired once to see how far they expand when they get fired in the chamber, and then I'll maybe split the difference of those. If these, when they're fired, can go back in the bolt and it closes like butter, I might take that measurement and then whenever I get a bolt lift that is not hard to close, but it encounters some resistance, I will bump it back to 2 or 3 thousandths, and then that'll be my full length sized every single time I shoot one of these. So that's sort of the process of where I'm going to start with trying to full length size these. I've got them in case lube, because when you full length resize, you want to, when you full length size, you want to have your cases lubed because they can get stuck up in there. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of these right now, full length size them, and then I'm going to stick them into the tumbler, and then I'll do the other cartridges. So enjoy. All right, those things are in the tumbler to get all the try to get all the lube off of it and stuff like that before it goes into the rifle, because you don't want all that lube on there when it goes into the rifle. And you just want to put a little bit of lube on it. I've tried the Lyman case lube here, and I got through a couple, and then I had one that dented the shoulder of the case. So told me that there was a little bit too much lube on it, and I'm going to use the Hornady wax from now on, because that Hornady wax is real good stuff in my opinion. So I'm going to get all the lube off of those, and while that's in the tumbler for about, I don't know, 20-30 minutes, I'm going to start to work on the unfire-formed 6.5 by 55 brass. My powder of choice for 6.5 by 55 is H4831 SC. I have had extremely great success with this powder, and in fact I kind of need more already, but this stuff is magical, and it gives me really consistent groups and stuff like that with no matter, and I can use it for both I can use it for both 6.5 by 55 and 6.5 by 55 Ackley improved. So that's my powder of choice for this. For the unfire formed 6.5 by 55, these guys right here, I am gonna do the max load according to Nosler and Hornady is 47 grains of H4831 SC. Shut that off real quick. One of the most interesting things about 6.5 by 55, it was developed in Sweden, and I'll put the date up there, but it was developed in Sweden in the 1800s. This thing predates the 308 Winchester. Swedish round, made to go through Mauser actions and stuff like that. The thought at the time was that the Mauser action was not strong enough to support loads that would take this thing to its highest potential. Now, there's a bunch of people who think that that was incorrect thinking, but this thing was actually not loaded to what it can be according to modern loads. That being said, those Swedes still took down moose with these things. I mean, with absolutely no problem at all with 6.5 by 55 Swedish Mauser. That is pretty cool to think about, how this was kind of anemically loaded. And if you do modern charges in modern actions, you can really start to top out the potential of this round. And I just think that's super cool that this round was almost built for future actions. And it's just really cool because you can load this thing up to past its stated charge. And a lot of those modern books, from Nosler and Hodgkins, they are the old powder charge data in there. So you definitely want to start within those parameters, but you can load these things way past those. We're talking, you know, if your max load says it's 47 grains, you might be able to get away with 50 grains or something like that. That being said, you always want to start within those parameters that are stated in those load books, and then work up from there and try to find pressure charges and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool to think about. And when you get into 6.5 by 55 versus 6.5 by 55 Ackley improved, that just means that you can load it even further past those parameters and get a whole lot of performance out of it. So I think that's pretty cool. I'm going to start off with 46 grains of H4831SC, and that'll give me, that'll make these things fire form in the chamber and have them ready to go for the next time we fire them. So 46 grains of 4831SC coming right up. a whole bunch of regular Swedish Mauser ammunition. This is regular 6.5 by 55, but this will chamber and fire in a Ackley improved 6.5 by 55 chamber. So I loaded it up with 46.5 grains. To juxtapose that, let me shut this up a little bit. To juxtapose that with my accuracy load for 6.5 by 55 Ackley, I usually put in 50.5 grains of H4831SC. So the max load for 6.5 by 55 says 47 grains of 4831SC, but remember, that is still the old 1800 powder charge for 6.5 by 55. So it may not be, it will not be the full potential of what this round can do. So I just did that just to be safe. 46.5 grains of H4831SC. And we'll go ahead and fire these through Ronda and get these all fire formed. And we can use that to break in the barrel as well. Well, not break in the barrel, but copper foul it and really get it ready to go for the full power 6.5 by 55 Ackley rounds, which have finished in the tumbler, by the way. So that's a sexy cartridge right there. So I'm going to go ahead and get the 6.5 by 55 Ackley rounds ready to go, and then head out to the range tomorrow, where I'll, sight it in and test them out.